Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture of Python tutorials. In this lecture, we are going to learn about condition or conditional expressions. Now, sometimes we want our work to be done in certain circumstances, certain conditions, particular conditions. When the conditions are met, then we want our work to be done. Suppose I have to show a person that he or she should give me a number, and suppose he gives me 5. Now I want to show that this number is an odd number. Now if he gives me suppose 8, so now I want to show that this number is an even number. Now to make this type of program where I can show the person that this particular number is even or this particular number is odd, this is called condition, and these conditions are made using conditional expressions in Python. Now, conditionals are basically if else and if elif and else in Python. So what are that? Why we use that? We'll get into that. But for now, sometimes you work under certain circumstances, such as like uh, today is Sunday, so let's order food. Maybe you will not order the food every day, because first it is unhealthy to order food every day from outside, uh, and second, today is Sunday, so let us just order it for today. Let's eat ice cream maybe for not for every day, but for now, but for today. These are some examples of conditions that we are eating food from outside or we are eating ice cream from outside for today only. Bringing the same thing here in Python as well, we do the same in Python as well. That we want to execute some functions or programs under certain conditions when they are met. So now let us get into here and see. Sometimes we want to play PUBG on our phone if there is Sunday. Maybe we will not play it every day, but since it's Sunday, we are saying that now let's play the game. Sometimes we order ice cream, as I said. Sometimes we go hiking if our parents allow. If they don't allow, we won't. Now, hiking can't be done every day. It takes a proper amount of time, your energy, and a day should be fixed. Not every day you can be hiking here and there. So these are some conditions. All these decisions will depend on condition being met. In Python 2, we must be able to execute instructions on a conditions being met. This is what conditionals are for. Now, to make these conditions happen, or to make programs for these conditions, we use conditional statements or conditional expressions in Python, which are if, elif, and else. Now we'll get into that in this chapter. Now this is what conditionals are for. Now we will understand them in our code. So let's come here in VS Code. I have already made a folder named Python 4, so I'll select it, open it, and I will make a file here uh, named as conditionals.py. So here, now let's suppose I want I told the user to enter his age. So I want to make a particular program uh, for condition to be met uh, for the user to enter his age. Now if I take a variable a here, I will write input enter your age. Now here, as you can see, since we know that input only takes string function by default, so for age is not a string, age is an integer type data type. So we have to first typecast this input into integer. So for that I will use int input here. So like that we are asking the user to enter his or her age here. Now I want that, let's suppose I want that if the person is greater than 18 years old, or is if he or she is also equals to 18. Now I want that person should be eligible to vote, because this is the criteria. If you are 18 or 18 plus, you can go for voting. What I will do is I will write here if a is greater than or equals to 18, then colon. Now this is the syntax of if statement here, or if block here. So colon is necessary here after we complete our statement here, if statement. So this is how if is written in Python. Now here you can see, when I'll press enter after this colon, my cursor will get shifted here. Now this is what is called as indentation in Python. Now what is indentation? The indentation is basically telling a person that telling the coder that you are inside this statement or block. So whenever I will write if or any other statement, like in coming forward to elif and else also, whenever I will write like this, I will write as conditional statement here and give colon. So automatically my cursor in the next line will get shifted. Now this shifting or this space from the starting till my where my cursor is called as indentation, and the space is called as indent. uh, so my cursor is indented here, which is telling me that we are inside our if function. Now to, let's suppose I want, as I said, I want to uh, say that if you are above 18 or equals to 18, you are eligible to vote. So I will write print. Now here, as you can see, this is indented here and this shows us we are inside if function. So this print will work for if only and nothing else. Now this is inside if, so this has to work inside if only. So now I will write you are eligible to vote. Now here, if I will press enter again, it will be shifted here. That means we are still inside if function. Now if I will backspace it, now I'm outside the if function. Now this where I, whatever I will written from here to here, so this will not be inside if function, and this will not work for if function, but this will work for if function only. Now I want also give now if and else work together, so I also have to write else here. Else means otherwise. So this, now as you can see here, else is also whenever I wrote colon and else then press enter, so else also is showing me that we are inside now else block. Now do whatever you want to do inside else. Now this will not work for if. So now write print you are not eligible to vote. Now let's understand it one by one. Now first I started my if block or if statement here, where I said that if where firstly but firstly I asked for age of the user. Now user has entered his age. Now I am checking if only if the condition is true here, that means the age is greater than 18 or equals to 18, so then you are eligible to vote. This will be printed only when this condition will met. If this condition is not met, then our code will jump to else. So else what we'll do here, so since the condition is not met in if, that means it is lower than or below than 18, so it will say that, it will print that you spelling is wrong here, you are not eligible to vote. Now let us run this code here. Suppose I will enter 19 here. So see, it is showing me you are eligible to vote. Now if I write here, let's suppose 15, so it is showing me that you are not eligible to vote. So what is happening here? First, whenever I will enter my age, the function will firstly move to if, and it will check if whether the given input is greater than 18, equals to 18, or not equals to 18. If it is greater than or equals to 18, then it will print you are eligible to vote, like this, like that. Here I have given 19, it is showing me that you are eligible to vote. But if the condition is not met, such as I have given 15 here which is less than 18, so here this is printing you are not eligible to vote. So that is how if and else block or expressions work here in Python. Now here I can also write, this is inside if block. Good, let's move ahead. This is what if, when this will check if block, if this is greater than 18, then it will print this also and this also. But if it is less than 18, so it will only print the whatever is given here to print inside if else. So let us get into it very quickly. So here let's enter our age as 18, suppose. So as you can see here, both the statement that we have given to print are printed, since if block is completely fine, you are eligible to vote and good. Let's move ahead. Now if I give here suppose 2, so now it will only print you are not eligible to vote. Now this is, as I said, this is inside if block, so only if the condition of if block is true, then these printing function or whatever is written inside the if expression will only be printed and not else. It will ignore else. But if it is not met here only, then the program will jump into else, and then if will be ignored and print whatever is written inside else block will be printed. Now as I said, these all work together, so you have to see here whether this if is connected to else or not. Now this is, both are connected here, since if the if expression will be false, so else will be running, and if the if condition is true, then else will be ignored. So that is how you can see if they are connected to each other or not. Now let us move ahead to our here level. Let's see, as you can see here, it is given the same thing. If a is equals to 20, now then the value here is already given. Now if it is checking that if a is greater than 9, which is it is, so it will print greater here and will ignore else print lesser. Now there is a quick quiz. Write a program to print yes when the age entered by the user is greater than or equals to 18. Now I will just copy it here, just like that, and let us do it here. Now what I will do is, I will just take it like this. Now let us make some spaces here to make it look more presentable, readable. As you can see here, what you are doing, greater than or equals to 18. Yes, okay. So here yes, and here let's suppose no. So this is that if greater than or equals to 18, a is greater than or equals to 18. That was our question. Let's see again. That we want to print yes when the age entered by user is greater than or equal to 18. So same question here. Now let's just erase this, and if I will run this here in terminal, so now let's write 16, or let's suppose write 29 here. So I'll get answer as yes. And if I have not written, if I have written 16 here, so I would have gotten no. So that is how if and else work here. Let me tell you about elif expression here. Now suppose now we know that we work under different conditions or multiple conditions also. Now I have checked if the user's age is greater than 18 or lesser than 18, and according to that I have printed you are eligible to vote or not. Now let's suppose if a person types is his or her age in negative numbers, so what will I do? Since we know that negative there is no such thing called negative age. Suppose he or she has written minus 18 or minus 78. So now I want my program or my code to tell that person that this is not the right way or this is the invalid way to write the age, because age cannot be negative. So now if I want to tell this to my user, what will I do here? I will use elif. Now, elif is basically combination of two words else and if. So that makes elif. Now let us write here elif. Now if elif comes after if, so if you want to use elif, you should use if first. If should be used first. You cannot start your code with elif or else only. You have to start the code. The conditional expressions always start from if and end, whether you want to end them with elif or whether you want to end them with else. They can end with both, but it should always start with if. Now let us write here, if a is less than 0, then print the age you have entered is invalid because it is a negative age. Now let us see here, if I run this code here, go to terminal here, Python C, and then I will press tab here, so this will automatically write my file here. Now let us type age as minus 17, let's suppose. Now see, the age you have entered is valid. So this is how elif comes in place for multiple expressions inside this block. Now as you can see here, these all the codes here, all the blocks here, or all the expressions here, these all are connected to each other. If this will be true, this will be true, this will be like this is all of them are connected to each other. Now let us suppose if someone is entering his age as 0, what will it do? So now let us check it, what it is giving us whenever we enter our age as 0. uh, this is the wrong way. Let me write it here again. Let me write 0 as an age. You are not eligible to vote. Now this is right, but I want to tell my user also that 0 cannot be used as your age. 0 should not be used. You are not eligible to vote, that is another case, but since you are less than 18. But I also want to tell that user that either you write negative or you write 0, both will be invalid. So now what will I do here? I will make another elif block here. Elif a equals to 0, print 0 age is invalid. And this is how I want to show my user that 0 can't be written here. Now let us again write it like this, enter 0, and it will give me 0 age is invalid. So here it is not printing the age you have entered is invalid or you are not eligible to vote. It is simply giving me 0 age is invalid here. Now as I said, you can see here all of these are connected to each other. If is connected to elif is connected. If one of the condition is met, other conditions are ignored. Let's suppose if a is met here, then all the conditions will be ignored here. If a is not met but a condition or the first elif condition is met here, so it will be only printed, not these three. Now if second elif condition in this code met here, now this will be printed, or if any of these condition will not be met, now this will give me, you are not eligible to vote. So now this is the connection which we called as if elif else ladder. Why it is called if elif else ladder? Because these are connected to each other in a ladder wise position. So if this won't run, this will run, this won't run, this will run, this won't run, this will run, and if one of the code will run, it will ignore all the other codes here. See, if if, else, and elif statements are multi-way decision taken by our program due to certain condition in our code. Now, as you can see here, if condition is met here, it is printing yes. Elif condition met here, it is printing no. Else, it is printing maybe. So that is how this is called a ladder, if elif else ladder. Now it is not necessary that you always write elif everywhere. You the ideal way or the most simplest way and the most used way is you write if and else only. Now if there are multiple conditions that are requested, you can use elif here, and there are conditions where you use multiple elif, as I have used here in our code as well. Now I'll give you one example which confuses most of the people in this if else elif. Now let us suppose if I put multiple elif here. What do I mean by that? Now let's suppose I write if a modulo 2 equals to 0, then print a is even. Why? Because it will be divided by 2 and the remainder will be 0 here. So if the remainder is 0 when the age is divided by 2, to print a is even. Now my point here is, as you can see here, now this if is independent of itself. Now I should write here, I should write it above this if to make it more clear, like this. So this if here is independent, and now this if here is connected to all these elif else, but this if here is independent of itself, because first if it is not connected to these many if and elif loop, if and elif ladder, it is independent of itself. Now these questions can be formed. Now if there were many ifs, now we had to segment them down and determine which if is working with which if, or which if has the if elif else ladder, it is connected to each other or not. Now we have to determine so many things when there are multiple ifs here. So now but this particular code, for this particular code, if I give Python and then I will enter suppose 18, what will it do? First this if will be printed, executed. Now that here, as you can see, a is even and you are eligible to vote and good move ahead. Now this is what 18 was firstly in this if, this independent if here, which is not connected to all these. So it said what a divided by 2, a modulo 2 is 0 0. So when we will divide 18 by 2, it will give us 0 0 as a remainder, and so it printed a is even. And then the second if, which is connected to elif and else as well, is printed. Now it check, now the input here moves to this if, and then it checks whether it is greater or equals to 18. So 18 was equals to 18, so it printed both the condition that we gave here to print in this if expression here. Now there can be n number of possible if in an statement, as I said earlier as well. If I would have put another if here, so this would have been so many if, and we had to then determine which if is there to connected to the ladder, and which if is independent, which if is working together, or which if is just another if working independently. Now here's one more thing, if can be independent but elif and else cannot be independent. What do I mean by that is, if, as we can say here, if works on itself and independently also, because as you can see here, this if didn't need any else, because it is working independently. It is only checking whether the given input is divided by 2 and is equals, and the remainder of this is 0 or not. So this doesn't need any else. It's this is not, this else is not this if's else. There is no else in this if. This is independent, but this if contains elif and else as well. So elif cannot be independent, else cannot be independent. You cannot start else here. Suppose you write else here in place of if. Now let's suppose, to show you all, I will copy it and then I will make it an independent. uh, Suppose, let's suppose I wrote here this is odd. Now this is an independent sheet, but it is now the file is only showing me the error here. What is the error here? Now if I will run this, let's see, Python syntax application. Now see here, syntax error because else cannot be used independently, just like if, and elif cannot be also used independently. So that is what I wanted to show you all. Now let us move ahead to our practice sets. Moving ahead with our questions, we also have here relational operators which we use in our this statements, conditional statements. We have used it in our code also, but here as it is given here, we have to continue it. Now the relational operator is given here. Relational operator are used to evaluate condition inside if statements. Some example relational operation operators are equals to, as we have used there, greater than equals to, less than equals to. We have used it in our this code only. Let us move ahead to logical operator. Logical operator are basically for logic. We have discussed it in our previous one lecture also. So in Python, logical operator operate on conditional statement. For example, and true if both operands are true, else false, or true if at least one operand is true, or else false. Not inverts true to false and false to true. Now I have discussed it using truth table also in my one of my lecture, so I will not get into deeper section here. So let us move ahead now. So important note, there can be number of elif statement, as we have seen. Last else is executed only if all the condition inside elifs failed. Now if condition fails, now we will come down to elif, so there can be number of elifs. Now if all the elifs will be false, so then last else will be printed or executed. Now let us do our questions here. So I hope everything is clear to you all. Now we're moving ahead to our questions. Now first question is, write a program to find the greatest of four numbers entered by the user. So first I will come here, I will create a new file as question1.py. Now what I have to do here is I have to find the greatest of four numbers. Now let us take one number as a1. So since I have to take a number here, so I will typecast firstly our input to int, so that the number is here. Enter number 1, 1. So here I am getting our first number here, and now I have to get four numbers, so I will just do it like this, shift alt and down arrow key to get the four numbers, just like that. And then I will change them to a2, a3 and a4. Here also I have to change 4, 3, 2 and 1. So now I have to write if condition here. How to write it? Now here, since we have to find our the greatest of all four integer, I will do here, first I will create if here, if a1 is greater than a2, and then I will use AND operator here, because all the conditions need to be true. If a1 is greater than a2, or and a1 is greater than a3 as well, and a1 is greater than a4 as well. So then I will print let's suppose I will give here f, and then I will say a1 is the greatest in integer, just like that. And now I will just copy it from here, and I will shift alt 1 2 3 and 4. Now I want to show you guys here that if we don't even use else here, only if and elif, then also our condition will be met, and this will be true. This will be good here. Now I have to write here elif. Now I will change all occurrences here. Then I will go here and I will write elif. So here it is getting wrong, just like that, and then I will get here again, and what I will do here is I have to change it to 2, change it to 3, and change it to 4, and here I have to again do it. Now here, as you can see, I have written a1 is greater than a2, a1 and a1 is greater than a3, and a1 is greater than a4. So it has to be greater 1. If we are talking about 1 only, so I have to look all the all the other 3 numbers as well to make it the greatest one. Now a2 is greater than 1, and a2 is, sorry, here it is wrong. I have to make changes all over it. Now here a2 is greater than 3 and a2 is greater than 4, then a2 will be printed, a3 is greater than 1 and a3 is greater than 2, and also with a4, so a3 will be printed as greatest integer. Now a4 is greater than 1 and a2 and a3, so a4 will be printed here. Now without else also we can do this. Now let's get to terminal, write Python and then q tab and then enter our first number. Now let's suppose 12, then 13, then 56, and then 87, let's suppose. So now if I will run this, 87 is the greatest integer. Now here I haven't given else here, so only if using if and elif also you can print your codes as well, but it is a usual and good practice or a good way and the older way as well to use if and else also. Whether you use else elif, whether you use elif or not, you should always use else, because it is a good practice to use else. Now let us move ahead to another question. What is the another question? Write a program to find out whether a student has passed or failed if it requires a total of 40% and at least 33% in each subject to pass. Assume 3 subjects and take marks as an input from user. Now if you don't know how to calculate percentage here, I will show you how. Let us first write question2.py here. I will end this and let us do this question here. Now let me print marks 1 is equals to int input enter your marks, and I will shift alt and down arrow. So this is 3 marks of the same person. I have to create total percentage here. Now making variables, now variables should be descriptive. That means you cannot, I if I wanted to use, I can use m1 as well, and now here I am using total percentage here. I can have used TB also, but it is a good practice to make it descriptive only. It can be long, it can be time consuming, but you should make it very descriptive. It automatically gets your code presentable. Now here to calculate the percentage, I will firstly do now here, as you can see, I have not written here marks 1, I have written only m1. So this is another feature of VS Code here. If you write only the words or letters which are available in your variable, it will automatically show you that variable, even if 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever the number of letters are available, it will show you that variable which is identical to it, which contains, not identical, which contains the letters you have provided here. So if I will enter, so it will give me that. So marks 1 plus m2, I will enter it, plus m3 and enter. So now this is out of 300, and then let's make another bracket here. Out of 300, and to calculate percentage I have to multiply it with 100 also to make it a two-figure number. Now I will give condition here: if total percentage is greater than or equals to 40, then print you are passed. Now I will use else, print better luck next time. This is how you can do it. Now if I will run our code here in terminal, I will write python question2.py and I will enter marks. Suppose I have given here 34, then 67 and then 78. So it is giving me pass here because I have scored good marks here. Now again, if I will give suppose question2.py and suppose I will give 12 in the first, 23 in second and 20 in last. This will make me better luck next time because this is less than the 40% criteria. That is how you can do our second question. Moving ahead with our next question. A spam comment is defined as text containing following keyword: make a lot of money, buy now, subscribe to this, or write a program to detect this spam. Now let me just first copy these and I will make a new file here named question3.py. Then I will paste them here and I will make them in different variables here, just like that. And these are not my double quotes here, these are some other symbol. Change all occurrences, I will make them like this, and then here also I will do the same. First I will select them, right click on them and change all occurrences, and then I will make them like this. This is here backspace, and I will remove these commas here, and then I will put it in. Suppose phrase 1 is P1 here, then phrase 2 P2 is by now, P3 is this, and then P4 is this. Now these are our phrases that whenever it will come, it should show me spam comment here. Now let us type here message is equals to input, enter the message, just like that, and I will write condition here: if P1 in message. Now if in what does is it will check if the P1 phrase is inside the message which I will give in our output or not, and I will use OR operator here because any one condition needs to be true. And then P2 in message, or P3 in message, or P4 in message. That is how I have created 4 conditions inside if condition here, just like that. Now I will give here print this message is a spam, and again in else block I will give print this message is not a spam. That is how you can do it. This is the older way to do what we do in our spam messages. Whatever the spam messages come to you with your identifier in your phone or laptop will tell you whether it is spam or not, or in the emails as well. That is the older way. Now we have AI also, so that is how we will work. We work now efficiently and more time, not time consumingly. That is how, that is the old version. So now if I go here, I type Python question 3.3.py, and I will suppose that hello, having a good day, want to make a lot of money, click on this. Now it will check it, and whether this message is not a spam. Here click this is not a, click on this was there. Now this is not a spam. Now if I write again, if I write here the same thing, Python question 3.py, hello, good morning, do you want to make a lot of money? Now let's copy this and paste it here. So what will it give this? So that is how you can do this question. Now again another question here, write a program to find whether the given username contains less than 10 characters or not. Now let us go here, move another question 4.py here, enter it and fill it. Then let us now take a variable here, username is equals to, I'm asking from user, so here enter your user name, and what I have to do here is contains less than 10 characters or not. If length of username is less than 10, then print your username contains less than 10 characters, and in else I will write print all is well. Now if I will run this here in terminal, Python question 4.py, so if I will enter name, suppose my name is of 7 characters, the username contains less than 10 characters. That is how you can do 4th question. Now let us move ahead to another question here. This is write a program to find write a program which finds out whether the given number is present in a list or not. So I have to make here a list, question 5.py. Let us make a list name L1 here. Suppose this is Rishabh, Shubham, 12, 22.5, Raghav, and suppose Sambhavi here. So now what we will do is we will take the name here, input, let's not give this here. Now let's suppose this is a list of strings only, input, enter the name. Now if name in L1 the yes name is in this L1 else print name is not in list L1. So here how you can do that. Now let us run this code here. Python question 4.py. Let us enter username, suppose Shubham here. Shubham, use your username oh, I have run question 4.py. I had to run question 5.py here. Let us open terminal again. Python question 5.py. Yes, Shubham is in list L1. So that is how you can do this question. The sixth question here says write a program to calculate the grade of student of his marks from the following. If this is. So how we can do this question? Here I will come here and I will kill this terminal first, then question 6.py, then again I will take marks here, int input, enter your marks, just like that, and then I will write conditions here. If what was given here is this 90 to 100, if marks is less than or equals to 100 and marks is greater than or equals to 90, then print excellent, or I can say here grade X, which is excellent. Now let us write elif condition here. Marks is greater than equals to 90, sorry, less than equals to 90, and marks greater than equals to 80. So what is the grade here? Print grade, I think it would be A. Yes, it is A. So A grade. Now I will do what? I will be selecting this shift alt 1 2 3 4. So how many grades we have to give after A? 1 2 3 4. So that is how you can give, and I will change the occurrences here. That is how you will have to do this. That I have written the elif, and these are the conditions and else. Now let us run this code here by Python question 6.py, and if I write my marks, suppose 75, this will give me grade B, because 75 is greater than 70 and less than 80. So that is how you can give all the grade here. Now let's suppose if I again give it question 6.py, and I will suppose give less than 50, so 45 suppose, so grade F. So this is giving grade F. That is how you can do this question. Let's move ahead to another question. This is a question: write a program to find out whether a given post is talking about Harry or not. Now let us take our post first. Let us firstly write here post is equals to, we can write this by taking input also, but I am doing it here like this. Rishabh, uh, good evening, hope to see you soon, like that. And then if uh, Rishabh in post, then print this post is talking about Rishabh, else print this post is not talking about Rishabh, like that. So here if I will run this Python question 7.0, this post is talking about it. Now another interesting thing which you need to keep in mind, that here if you will put input and for the post here, if you will write r small or s capital or anything capital here, you have to just write it like this whenever you are printing it, like whenever you are giving it in the post. So just like you have given in here like this. So if you will give all capital, and in post you are in if condition, if there is this r capital and if in post the r is small, this will not give you. Let me show you here like this, print and then Python question 7.0. This post is not talking about Rishabh, because Rishabh is same name, but r here is small and here is r is greater, so this will not be same because these are obviously not same. R is greater, r is small, so the Python interpreter will not understand whether it is Rishabh or capital R, Rishabh with capital R. So that is how you can do this question. And with that being said, our lecture 4 is over. We'll move into our next lecture, which is loops. Thank you.